welcome back to my channel. I'm Courtney from Couture Plus Confidence. Today's video is going to be a video on how I show you how to make aloe vera. So I'm going to make aloe vera actually two ways. There'll be two ways in which I'm going to make this aloe vera, and I wanted to come and do a video and show you guys. But before we get started, please hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get into the video. The first thing you obviously is going to need is the aloe vera plant. I did pick this up at my local grocery store. You will need a cutting board, knife, spray bottle of any kind, whatever you have on hand. I have this one. You will need a pot because we want to do it two ways, as I mentioned. A blender or NutriBullet or something to blend up the aloe vera, and a stocking cap. So let's get into the video. The first thing I'm actually going to do first is take off any labels that are on the aloe vera. Take those off first, and then I want to also just rinse it, wipe it down, rinse it off really quickly. This was the only one he had left at the grocery store, so I'm going to rinse this off. Okay, so now that it's nice and rinsed off both sides, I'm going to just dry it off a little bit. Okay. So now that that's nice and rinsed off, what I want to do first is take off this piece right here, the tail. So I'm just going to take that off because we don't need that part of it, and I cut it right where the white begins and it becomes more darker and green in color. So that's where I cut it off at. And then it also gives off an aroma as soon as you do that. So I'm also going to, because we're not going to need this long piece here, so I'm just going to cut it about there and set that aside. So then we're just left with the middle of the aloe vera, and I'm actually going to cut this in half because, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, we're going to make aloe vera two ways. So we're going to sit this part over here aside because this will be our other way, and then we're just going to focus on this one for right now. So you have your aloe vera plant, and what you want to do is just cut off the very, very sharp edges, as like so, on both sides. As you can see, this is what it looks like, and they're actually really sharp too. So just want to cut those off, throw those away, and then you still have your aloe vera here. So now the second step is we're going to actually slice this in half so that we have two pieces. So I'm going to cut this right in the middle, straight through, and please be careful because aloe vera is extremely slippery. Okay. Oh, look at that goodness. Yeah, see that?
To separate my body and mind, my body and mind.
That is nutrients right there. For your hair, for your face, for your body, for any scabs or scars. Good stuff. So the next thing we want to do is just get a spoon and scrape all of the goodness, the jelly, all of this out into a cup. I'm going to use my NutriBullet. I'm going to use my NutriBullet. So next, you want to just scrape everything off of here into this NutriBullet cup. So you can do it with a spoon or you can do it with a knife, but as I mentioned, if you do it with a knife, please be careful. You also can chop this in half, which is what I want to do. This way it helps when I blend it, and then put it in here. So I just broke them up into squares. And then I want to see if there's any more in here, which there is. I want all of it. All of it. Now, I usually just cut him. I would usually take this piece, cut it in half, and then split it. And I'll have two pieces like this, and then just use that on my daughter's hair. But this time I'm trying something different, and I want to actually make a leave-in and an aloe vera oil. So that's what prompted this video. And it should look like this. Nothing. It has nothing on it, and this still has aloe vera on it. So this is what it should look like.
Did you forget that golden rule? Why is our love at one-sided? It should really be give and take. Fill you up and leave me empty. Baby, was that my mistake? Covering these feelings, going through changes. I'm just so mad right now, I can't even think straight. So I'ma just read it and delete it, knowing you won't read it before we get too far away. I need to clear my mind. I'd rather just
So we can, oh, that would be trash. So we can just throw these away because there's no aloe vera left. It's all gone and it's into the cup. So I'll put that aside for trash. Let me just wash my hands. Hurry up, my phone's gonna die. And then here is 100% organic olive oil, right from the plant. This is it right here. I know I just washed my hands, but this is it right here. Doesn't look like much yet, but it will. Now we're going to blend this up. So here's the Nutri-Ninja that I'm going to use. And this is the aloe vera with the lid on it. And I'm just going to blend this up.
so I'ma just read it and delete it, knowing you won't read it before we get too far away. I need to clear my mind. I'd rather just read it.
Just want to make sure everything is all nice and blended, which it is. And there you have it. Have 100% aloe vera for leave-in. And this is it. Here now you can also add coconut oil, a little bit of Jamaican black castor oil to it as well. But I'm going to leave it in this pure state for right now. So then we're going to transfer this juice here over into our spray bottle. I have this spray bottle here with my aloe vera juice. And here's the spray bottle. So let me see, because I'm going to, oh, actually, no. So that was the aloe vera juice. I'm going to strain this first. I want to make sure we don't have any of the thick chunks of aloe vera in here, which we do. So I have to make sure I strain this. Strain this aloe vera with either a knee-high, a stocking, or an actual strainer, which is what I have. It's going in there. It's about using what you have. So I'm just basically pouring the aloe vera in the strainer, and pushing it through. And then I want all the juice. I only want the juice. We're almost done. That's it for that. Let this sit here for a little bit so it can finish draining. And I just want to show you guys what was actually in here, right here. I thought I chopped up everything, but you know, you'll see that you don't always get everything, all of the gel. So you'll have a little bit of pieces left, chunky pieces left, and that's okay. So just put that aside, and then let me wipe this up. And here you have the aloe vera juice. All juice, no pulp. I think, is that what it's called, pulp? Let me pour it in the spray bottle. Lid on it, and I have homemade aloe vera juice. Let's test that out. Oh, as you can see, there it is. It works. So there you have it. The first batch of aloe vera juice. This will be the conditioner, and then we're going to make the oil. So similar to how we did the other one, we're going to cut off. We're going to cut off the edges, the sharp pieces.
It's getting closer to midnight. I tried to get closer to you. Drinking courage from my red cup now.
Put those aside.
We'll soon make a move.
Cut it in half.
Ooh, I can
Remember?
taste it. The bittersweetness of taking a shot. A risk worth taking.
So you have two pieces.
If it's a
You see that?
baby, I adore you. Maybe I adore you. Yeah,
Goodness. So you want to scrape these out. I'm just going to use this because it's the closest to me, but we're going to transfer whatever we put in here into a pot that's on the stove.
my heart is skipping a beat. Your lips against a red cup makes me lose my mind completely. Ooh, I can taste it. The bittersweetness of taking a shot. A risk worth taking it. It's a shot of
I'm just scooping it out, see? That's all. And scoop this out as well. And this is great as a leave-in. And so we're doing the oil. This is what we want to use to moisturize our scalp with the oil.
Trying my best not to lose control. I want you, that's all I know. Trying my best not to lose control. 'Cause I adore you.
Okay. So there you have the two empty pieces here. Let's wash our hand. This is that. This is the aloe vera fresh off of the plant leaf, and it's going to go into the oil. It's going to go into a pot on the stove, and we're going to heat it up to make the oil. I'm going to add this also into our oil mixture, because actually you could also keep the aloe vera on here on the plant leaf and then just chop it in two. Like this is what it will look like. Remember the little piece that we had? You just keep everything together like so. Let's pretend that this is together. You keep everything together and then you would just cut it in half right here down the middle, and then you would chop it into some pieces. And now I'm going to take, now that we have the pot on the stove heating up, I want to take a little bit of olive oil that I have here and put it into the mixture. What is that? Maybe a tablespoon? And then I have some coconut oil as well. I want to get a spoon and just take one scoop and put it in there as well, the unrefined coconut oil. Which I have here. Oh, I'm working with one hand, guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that brown a little bit before I add the fresh aloe vera. Just give it a second. And then I want to take the fresh aloe vera and add it into the mixture. Along with these leaf plants that I also chopped up. Since we're making the oil, you can actually keep the leaf plants. So you definitely want to watch it. I have to go get a spoon. So I'm just going to let that cook down and brown. Okay, so I'm just going to let this cook down for about 10 minutes, and then I want to turn the boiler off, and then let me turn the fire down, and then we're going to transfer it. And the reason why I decided to add the actual leaf with the skin on there is because there's some nutrients in there, and since we're making the oil, I wanted to get all of the aloe vera, all of its nutrients from off of the plant and everything at once. So while the oil is cooking, actually while the oil is boiling, I just want to clean up a bit. Get all of the scraps. This looks like there's a little aloe vera I can add to the pot with this. Waste not, want not. So this is what I was saying. You can split this in half, and then you cut it this way as well. But we want to make sure we get those sharp edges off as well, and then we just dump it in a pot. So now that I have the sharp edges off and it's chopped up, this is what we can add to our mixture. Let's go check on our aloe vera. And guys, this is how aloe vera is so rich in nutrients for so many ways. I will put the specs to aloe vera within this video. But this is how I grew my toddler's hair back, and it just works so well. So this is what the aloe vera water looks like, and this will be the leave-in conditioner for my daughter's hair. I have it in this spray bottle, and the reason why I did not decide to use coconut oil in this version of the aloe vera is because coconut oil solidifies, and I will not be able to get it out. If it gets hard, there will be no spraying. However, once we finish the one that our second batch that we're doing on the stove currently, that's cooking down, we're going to transfer it into this mason jar here. You can get a mason jar from anywhere, but we're going to transfer it in here, only the oil. So we want to strain it, transfer it, strain it, and only strain the oil into this mason jar, which is what we're going to do. And then we have aloe vera oil. So we will have the oil, and then we'll have a leave-in. So this is what it looks like when it's ready. I'm actually going to take it off the stove. I turned the fire off. I'm going to let it cool down a bit. So let me remove it off of that eye and put it on a cooler eye and let it cool down, and then I'm going to transfer it into the strainer and then strain it into the mason jar. Okay, so now that the aloe vera has cooled down, I'm going to again use that cup that we used earlier so that I can strain it within the cup because the rim is round as opposed to the mason jar. And once I strain it in here, I'm going to transfer it over here, and then we'll be done with the oil. And I'm pushing them down as well to try to get everything that I can get out of this aloe vera. So remember, we only used a small amount of aloe vera to make the oil. We split it, remember? So it made enough, a small batch, which is fine. And then I'm going to take whatever it made and transfer it into this mason jar. And it's still draining over here. But the reason why I'm using this mason jar is because, as I mentioned, the coconut oil that we put in the oil, it solidifies, so it's going to become hard, and I can always, if I need to, scoop it out. Or what I probably would do is use something smaller, like a little top or something, and I can pour it in here when I'm ready to grease our scalps, moisturize our scalp. I can pour it in here, like so. Can you see that? There it is. And then I can also add Jamaican black castor oil, because I like to add that in my daughter's hair when I'm ready to use this mixture in her scalp, and then this as a leave-in. So there you have it. So I made two versions of aloe vera treatments for your hair. This one is a leave-in, and this one is a moisturizer for your scalp. And I'm very proud because I started trying something new, and I wanted to try something new in my daughter's hair, and we did it. So thanks so much for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button and become part of my channel. Bye guys.